wish we'd got a bit more hard evidence to link Jimmy Smith with Price and the others.
Oh, it was OK yesterday, wasn't it? Those photographs went down well with the jury. All we've got to do is keep telling them that Smith did it.
Well, don't tell me you're back again. After yesterday, I reckon you give it up as a bad job.
Oh, yeah? Why's that then, Shaney?
Oh, you are joking, aren't you? Everyone on that jury knows that this is a fit-up. You've only got to look at them. You'd say anything to put my old man away. Even getting that slag Price to fit him up.
Shane.
What?
Has anyone ever told you that you've got a great big mouth? Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Go on. And you better take your new stepmum inside.
Cocky little.
Yeah, don't let him get to you. He won't be half so flash when his old man's not there to hold his hand, you'll see.
Isn't it true that the only real piece of evidence you can offer against Mr. Smith is the testimony of a convicted bank robber, David Price?
Convicted of the robberies Mr. Smith planned.
Price made a deal, which meant that in exchange for testifying against Mr. Smith, he was only sentenced to 3 years in prison, unlike his colleagues in the robberies who were each sentenced to 15 years. Now, avoiding prison for 12 extra years is a pretty strong reason to lie and put someone else in the dock, isn't it, Sergeant?
No, I don't think so. We also had the other evidence which implicated Mr. Smith in the planning of those robberies.
Really? Which evidence do you mean?
The photographs, taken while we had Price, Markham and Lennox under surveillance. Mr. Smith was photographed with all three men, both before and after the raids. They looked as if they were celebrating.
So because you saw Mr. Smith associating with known criminals once or twice, you made the assumption that he was a criminal too?
No, we'd observed him with these men on 7 occasions.
Nevertheless, if you'd seen Mr. Smith when his restaurant was full of office girls out on a hen night, would you therefore have assumed that Mr. Smith was actually working as a secretary?
No, of course not.
Of course not. But it is true that you and your fellow officers at Sun Hill have been trying and failing to find some evidence of wrongdoing against Mr. Smith for some time now.
No, we'd kept Mr. Smith under observation because we believed he was involved in criminal activities.
So, after 5 failed attempts to pin crimes on Mr. Smith, isn't it fair to say that you and your fellow officers were getting pretty desperate to make something stick, anything?
We believed he was breaking the law. When we had sufficient evidence to prove it, we charged him, Your Honour.
Was there any doubt in your mind that you had the right man?
No, none at all. When we told Smith that we'd got photographs of him with Price and the others, he looked like he swallowed a fish.
Meaning?
He knew he'd been caught out.
I see. Thank you, Sergeant Beech. No more questions, Your Honour.
Sergeant Beech, do you base all your police work on how someone looks when you arrest them?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Well, you said that because Mr. Smith looked like he'd swallowed a fish, you thought he was guilty.
It was pretty obvious. He kept shaking his head and saying, "I don't believe this is happening." He looked as sick as a parrot.
Yes, well, let's leave fish and parrots to one side, shall we, and concentrate on the facts. You arrested Mr. Smith at his home and took him to Sun Hill Station, is that correct?
Yes.
And then you and Sergeant Daly conducted an interview lasting 5 minutes before Mr. Smith asked for his solicitor at 8:36 p.m. What happened then?
Mr. Smith was taken to a cell till his solicitor arrived at about 11:15.
So Mr. Smith sat in a cell for just over 2 hours waiting for his solicitor. What were you doing during that time?
Can't remember. Catching up on paperwork in the office, I think.
All the time?
I think I might have gone down to the canteen for a few minutes.
Didn't go anywhere else?
No?
So why does it say in the custody record that you made a visit to Mr. Smith in his cell at 10:16 p.m.? You did make that visit, didn't you, Sergeant Beech?
Yes. Yeah, I did go down to see Smith. I'd forgotten. But it was just for a couple of minutes.
5 minutes, to be exact, from 10:16 to 10:21 p.m.
If you say so.
No, not if I say so. If the custody record says so. Is it wrong?
No.
All right, then. So would you like to tell us the purpose of that visit to my client, now that you remember it?
I think I went to ask Smith if he had any information about another case I was working on.
Another case? Not the case Mr. Smith had been arrested for?
No, that would be against the rules of pace, obviously.
I see. So when the custody sergeant, Sergeant Boyden, was called away to deal with another prisoner, you weren't tempted to ask Mr. Smith about his own case?
No, I asked him about the other case and I left.
Really? Well, I suggest to you, Sergeant Beech, that you took the opportunity of being alone with my client to offer him a deal.
No, Your Honour.
Didn't you tell Mr. Smith that if he cooperated and admitted to a charge of conspiracy, you'd make sure he got bail? The implication being, of course, that if he didn't confess, he'd be held on remand.
No, I didn't say that.
You sure? A moment ago, you couldn't even remember making the visit to my client.
I didn't offer him a deal.
But surely it would have been good for everyone, wouldn't it? You'd get your case cleared up more quickly, and Mr. Smith would be freed on bail. Wasn't it even a temptation?
No.
Didn't even cross your mind? The chance to strengthen your case and get a quick result?
No, I told you. I didn't even think about it.
Really?
Where the hell did they get the idea that you offered Smith a deal?
I don't know. Look, Jeff, I don't think the jury took it seriously. Okay?
Seriously, did you see him? You didn't offer him a deal, did you?
No, of course not. What do you take me for, a mug?
Are you sure? What's Smith going to drop out when he gets in the witness stand, eh?
Nothing. Look, I went to see him about the Newbury case, that's all.
Somebody put the idea of a deal into that barrister's head and it hasn't done us any favours.
So your meetings with Mr. Price, Mr. Lennox and Mr. Markham were purely social charity events?
That's right.
All right, let's move on to your relationship with the Sun Hill police. How would you describe that?
Oh, that's easy. They've been trying to pin something on me for ages, especially Sergeant Daly.
Could you be more specific?
They've arrested me 5 times in the last 2 years, and each time they've got the wrong bloke.
You've never been charged with a crime?
Not until now. And this is only because they got Price to make up a lot of rubbish about me just to save his own neck.
So how did you feel about being arrested again in October?
I knew it was a waste of time. I hadn't done anything, but that didn't seem to bother them.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that when Sergeant Beech over there came down the cells to see me, he said they'd make sure they put me away this time.
Really? Did he say anything else?
He said I should make it easier on myself. He said, don't be a mug, Jimmy. Put your hands up to the conspiracy and I'll make sure you get bail.
And what did you think that Sergeant Beech meant by that?
If I didn't make a confession, I would stay locked up.
Are you sure?
He said that if I didn't play ball, I would be eating prison food until the trial.
So what did you do?
I told him to get lost. I hadn't done anything I wasn't going to say I had.
And at no time did you admit to having anything to do with these robberies?
Of course I didn't. It was a load of old toffee, and they know that.
And would you say that being held without bail for the last 19 weeks was in any way connected with your refusal to do a deal with Sergeant Beech?
Definitely. I wouldn't give them what they wanted, so they kept me locked up. Just like they said they would. Thanks so much. All right, be in touch.
Nice wig.
It's the triumph of British justice, this is. The jury ain't stupid. They knew a fit up when they saw one.
Come on, you want to make things worse?
Oh, mind your backs, everyone, or Sergeant Daly there'll have us all for obstruction.
Yes! You wanted me, Gov?
Yeah, don't shut the door. So, what happened in court?
You know juries, Gov. Some of them won't convict no matter what you tell them.
And this allegation of a deal, where does that come from?
No idea. Smith made it up.
He didn't make up the visit.
So?
So why didn't you tell anyone about the visit?
Nobody asked. Besides, it was nothing to do with Smith's case.
Come on, nobody believed that. You blew the whole case.
Hang on a minute. This morning, you were the one saying you didn't have enough hard evidence against Smith. We never had more than a 50-50 chance of getting a result, and you know it.
We didn't even have that after you being on the stand.
Listen, it went badly, all right, I admit it. But I'm not the only one standing here who's ever made a mistake in front of a jury, now am I?
So you didn't offer Smith a deal?
Of course not. But then maybe somebody should have. At least that way we'd have had more than a few poxy photographs to back up the case.
Listen, on your own cases, you do what you want, but not on mine, right?
All right, Jeff. Give us a minute, will you?
Yes, Gov.
So he's just a cock-up?
Sir?
All right, Don, off the record. I know Jeff's steamed up. But did you pull a fast one just to firm the case up?
No, Gov. I went down to see Smith to see if he had any information about the Newbury case. If you remember, you were the one who wanted it given top priority at the time.
So why didn't you tell the CPS you paid him a visit?
Why would I? It wasn't relevant to Smith's case, and the CPS didn't ask. Besides, we all go down to see prisoners from time to time. It's not against the rules.
Well, you must have guessed what it would look like.
No, I didn't. It was all above board. Matthew Boyden logged the visit in the custody record. It was there for anyone to see. But I wouldn't have gone down if I'd have known Smith was going to make up this cock and bull story.
All right, Don. I'll take your word for it. I suppose Smith was looking to have a creative brief. But let's make sure this situation doesn't happen again. Okay?
Yes, Gov.
Good.
Don! Do you fancy a pint?
Nah, not tonight, John, no thanks.
Just heard about the verdict in the Jimmy Smith case.
Yeah. Bad news travels fast, right?
Yeah. Come on, one pint's not gonna kill you.
I'm not in the mood. Another time, yeah.
All right, take it easy, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
There you go, 10:16 to 10:21, visit by DS Beech. There's my note, 10:19, called away to another prisoner.
So Don had 2 or 3 minutes alone with Smith. So he could have said anything off the record, right?
Well, he could have done, but it was only a couple of minutes.
Did Don know you made a note of his visit? Or did he think you kept it unofficial?
Oh, he knew all right. When it comes to me and him, everything goes by the book.
What, he didn't say anything?
No. Listen, Jeff, what's this all about? The Smith case is over. Why are you going into all this?
I'm not sure yet. Something's not right. Thanks, Matt.
Well, don't thank me. I haven't told you anything.
Private party.
Really? Well, tell Jimmy I'm very sorry to interrupt, but I want to work with him out here now in private, okay?
Stay there.
I hope you're not in there celebrating with anyone you shouldn't be.
Don't tell me you're going to pull another raid. You did well today. I was well pleased.
I'm glad to hear it. But you might want to keep a bit of a low profile for a while. I got attention over this, Jimmy. And next time you might be on your own.
Don't tell me you got your wrist slapped. Oh, dearie me. No pain, no gain. Isn't that what they say? Still not cheap, Don.
Jimmy, don't mess me about. 20 grand instead of 10 years inside now, that's a bargain.
I know it is. And I always value my friends. Here you go. Why don't you come inside, have a drink, keep the party going?
I've got things to do.
You sure? Yeah, I've got to be going myself. I promised Marie a nice meal, soft music. I've got 19 weeks to catch up on.
Yeah. Take care.
Yeah, look out yourself. Oi. Don't work too hard.
Jimmy, where you hit?
On my leg. Look, you shouldn't be here. I'll be all right.
What about your man?
Oh, don't worry. He'll be all right. Don't worry about him. Just have it on your toes. Go on, go on. My leg. Don't touch my leg. Don't touch it.
No, it's got to be now. Look, I need to go into the station. Right, half an hour? Okay. I'll see you there. Right. Thanks, darling.
Only for you. I hope you know that.
Of course I do.
Yeah, well, come in then. So, what's the matter?
Well, I need a favour. Jimmy Smith got shot last night outside a pub on Rattery Street, and I was with him when it happened.
Are you all right?
Yeah, they weren't aiming at me. But the problem is, I don't know if I was seen.
You mean you weren't supposed to be there?
Not officially, no. I need it looked after for a while, till I can find out what's happening. I can't risk stashing it till I know if anyone's poking around.
Do you think someone is?
Well, I'll know better when I get to the station.
OK, leave it here.
Thank you.
What else? You said a favour, you know.
Yes, I know. But I need to find the guy that pulled the trigger. If he saw me take that envelope from Jimmy Smith, he could make a nice little deal for himself if he gets nicked.
Oh, you're the detective.
What do you know about Steve Harper lining this up against Jimmy Smith?
Why would Steve ever go at Jimmy Smith?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Maybe he's been poaching on his territory.
Don, just because I run a couple of places for Steve doesn't mean he tells me what's going on in the rest of his patch.
No, I know. But you could ask around, though, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah. Excuse me, Steve. Did you get someone to shoot Jimmy Smith last night? Like that, you mean?
Just if anyone's talking about it. It could be a local boy or a new face brought in for the job.
Did you see him?
Just a glimpse. White, aged about 30, reddish hair. I've got the number of his car, but it's probably nicked.
I don't know, Don.
Look, I really need this, Chrissy. I need to know what's going on if I'm going to keep one step ahead.
What about Jimmy Smith?
He'll keep his mouth shut and so will his people.
OK, I'll see.
So you're telling me you can't think of anyone who'd take a shot at you?
Oh, come on. Who knows how many lunatics are running around out there? In my line of work, there's always one or two who bear grudges.
And which particular line of your work is that, Jimmy? Robbing banks? Running protection rackets?
Am I under caution here?
You know you're not.
Well, I just wanted to make sure. I mean, it was only yesterday you lot were trying to put me away. Ironic, that.
Oh, we're still trying, Jimmy. Don't worry.
Did you see the man who shot you?
Only got a glimpse of the car.
What colour was it?
White. Could have been a Ford, I don't know. I had other things on my mind like this.
You were saying about people with grudges.
Well, running restaurants and pubs, there's always one or two people you got to sack for being on the fiddle. Maybe one of them got the hump.
It's a bit drastic, isn't it? Using a shotgun to settle something like that.
Well, maybe it wasn't me they were after. After all, I only got one or two pellets in the leg. Charlie copped the rest of it. Maybe it was him they were after.
But Mr. Markham says he doesn't know anything.
Well, perhaps some bird got fed up with him giving her the runaround. I don't know. You know, women are funny. Ask Marie.
Ask me what?
Would you take a shotgun to me if you thought I was playing around with another woman behind your back?
Well, I'd use a knife. One quick trim. That'd be it. Gone.
There you go, see? Women today, they're independent. They don't need us. Not like we need them.
Do you want me to stay? Only ought to call the cab office. Tell me if I'm going to be there or not.
No, I'll be okay. You get yourself off. I'll give you a call later.
OK. You sure?
Sure. Diamond, that one.
You haven't said anything about Steve Harper.
Why would I? Hardly know the man.
You wouldn't be trying to expand your business onto his turf, would you?
You're having a laugh, aren't you? I've been banged up for 19 weeks on remand, remember? And I come home and wallop. I copped this lot out of the blue. I haven't done anything to no one.
All right, Jimmy. We'll leave it there for the time being. But if you've got any ideas of settling scores, forget them.
Look, all I want to do is to go about my own business without anyone having a go at me or taking the mick. That's all I ask.
Yeah, well, just make sure it stays that way, right?
You caught the bloke who shot my old man?
Not yet.
Nah, probably don't want to, right? I bet the Yorkshire Ripper here reckons it serves him right.
If your old man had been found guilty yesterday, he wouldn't have been shot, would he? That's for sure.
Jeff, leave it alone. For the time being, anyway.
Yes, Gov.
Morning, Polly. How's it going?
All right, Sarge. Bit slow.
Yeah? We'll see if I can liven it up for you. I'm trying to get a lead on the fence, and one of my snouts has given me an index for his car. Can you do a PSC?
Yeah, of course. Give us the number.
N84 RCY. And he says it's blue.
I think your snat's got it wrong, Sarge. N84 RCY is a white Cavalier. Registered keeper, Donald Banning, 18 Malpit Road, Sun Hill. It was reported stolen yesterday afternoon.
No, that's definitely not it then.
I think your snat's giving you the runaround.
Yeah, well, if he is, he'll regret it. I've got better things to do. Thanks, Polly.
Can I have a word?
What about?
Did you tell Jeff Dale I pulled a fast one for you when Jimmy Smith was in custody?
Hey, no.
So why is he going on about visits being kept off the custody record? If you've told him I'd bend the rules.
What'd you tell him?
The truth. That I wouldn't pull a stroke like that for anybody. Especially you.
Then you're in the clear then, aren't you?
I still want to know what's going on.
Well, you better ask Jeff Daly, because I haven't got the faintest.
Right, can I have your attention, please? For the next 24 hours, I want you to leave what you're doing and dig up anything you can on Harper and Smith. Sergeant Daly was the last person to have contact with Smith, so any information you coordinate with him and the DI. Now, at the end of that time, we'll see what we've got. And maybe we'll put a dent in their operations. OK?
Gov, we've got an operation on this afternoon. I don't want to lose it.
Will you get a result?
Yeah, the information's solid. The main supply's coming in this afternoon.
All right, we'll see it through, but as soon as you're finished, back here.
Right, Gov.
Chris, have a word at lunchtime.
Well, come on, don't just stand there. Snouts, information, rumours, anything you can get.
free. You better have those.
What for?
Well, if you're going to go around checking up on me, you better do it properly, haven't you? So they're the keys to my car and my flat. Oh, and my desk. So where do you want to start?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about you asking Sergeant Boyden whether I fiddled the custody records, that's what.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time he pulled a stroke like that, would it?
Listen, you have got a big mouth, Daly, and one day it's going to bite off more than it can chew, OK?
Back off.
All right, lads, you don't want to do this here. Just leave it, OK?
Or what?
Don.
You know, you should piss off back to Yorkshire. Warm beer and cricket, that's about all you could manage. Jim, with me.
Holly, I've got a witness statement from the Smith shooting last night. Woman says she saw a white car speeding away from the pub. You know if anybody logged a car like that last night?
Oh, there's a lot of white cars out there, Sarge.
I've got a partial plate. It's RCE or RCY.
Sergeant Beech was in this morning looking for an RCY. I think that one was white. Now, there you go.
Did you say why I wanted it?
Was something about information from a snout? It wasn't the one he wanted, though. This one's stolen.
Well, it might come in useful anyway. Can I have a copy of that?
Yeah, hang on a sec.
Hello, Willie. Come here.
Oh, come on, Mr. Beech. I ain't done nothing.
No? Oh, look, Jim. Christmas club money. Oh, look, you have been busy. All this money for Steve Harper, is it? Or you collecting for charity as well now?
Oh, no, look, this isn't fair.
Someone took a pop at Jimmy Smith outside the Scales last night. Who was it, Willie?
I don't know. I was nowhere near.
Did I say you were? Who set it up?
Honest, Mr. Beech, I don't know nothing. Look, all I know is there's been some trouble between Steve and the Smiths.
Tell me something I don't know, Willie.
All right, I heard it was Jimmy Smith's boy Shane trying to move in on the patch and Steve don't like it.
What, enough to have Jimmy Smith shot?
I don't know.
Looks like we're going to have to take all this money down to the station, have it checked for forgery.
Oh, look, hang on, look, I heard Steve had some bloke brought in to do the job, Scottish or something. But that's all. Nobody's talking.
Find someone who is, Willie. I want to know who pulled the trigger on Jimmy Smith, and I want it soon, OK?
I could go and do the shopping if you want.
What?
But I'm not doing anything here. Anyone would think it was personal.
It is, Jim. After what happened yesterday, I need a result, and when I get it, I'm going to shove it right down Jeff Daly's throat. Well, we've talked to half a dozen snouts who might know about Smith or Harper, but they know there's trouble brewing. Don't want to get caught in the middle.
Anything on who shot Smith?
Well, bits and pieces, nothing solid. But whoever it was could be long gone by now.
But you don't think it's over?
Well, I doubt it. Jimmy Smith's not the type to forgive or forget, is he?
God, I'm sorry, but I thought you'd like to know. I've just bailed Shane Smith till we get the lab analysis back.
Did he admit it?
You're joking. The guy's amazing. He just sat there like he didn't have a care in the world. Great big bag of ease on the desk in front of him. Just kept saying it was all going to be sorted. Guy's up with the birds, if you ask me.
Are you sure the stuff really was he?
Yeah, right down to the little logos. It's going to be an open and shut in court.
Good. Nice little dent in the Smith family business.
Gov.
What is this, Piccadilly Circus?
Oh, sorry, Gov. We just got a call from the fire brigade. A warehouse has been petrol bombed in Jamaica Wharf Lane. It's owned by Stephen Harper.
I know, because that's what they said. Tell Harper this is for last night. Then they chuck the petrol. Whoosh.
Would you be able to pick these guys out from a photograph?
No, no way. I'm not doing anything like that. It'll be my house next. I've got 2 kids.
Right, Mr. Redmond. You see DC Carver there and tell him what you can?
It won't be a lot.
What do you think?
I think Jimmy Smith just squared it up with Harper. Of course, we'll never prove it.
Well, we'd better find something or the DCI will be lighting a fire under us.
Scotch, please.
That's $2.50, please.
Keep it.
Thank you.
I said you'd phone.
I was just passing.
Yeah, well, look, I can't stay long because it'll be noticed.
You all right? Did you get any trouble at work?
I'm still one step ahead, but that's about all. Look, is that Stevie's idea of security here? One guy on the door.
It's not a nightclub. You can't frisk people before they get a Waldorf salad, you know.
Who's the guy at the table behind you with the red check tie?
His name's John Fallon. He works for Stevie.
Fallon? Fallon, wasn't you and him?
Yeah, ages ago. And not when me and you were together, OK? Together. It's a bit of an overstatement, though, isn't it?
So any news on the guy with the shooter?
I asked. It wasn't easy.
Well, go on.
Yeah, there is a rumour going round that Stevie hired someone in for the job. If he's still around, he'd be at the Brogan House Hotel. Steve uses it for visitors sometimes.
So who do I ask for?
There's a barman at the Peachtree. His name's Gavin. But go easy, he's all right.
Well, he's a friend of yours, is he?
Yeah, he's a friend.
Right, thanks. I'll see you later.
Thought Don Beech had gone home.
That's that old dodge, isn't it? Leave you late on, makes people think you're here, but you've just popped out for a minute.
Useful.
Yeah, it can be, I suppose. CID, Les Rotten. Yeah? What time is this? Okay, thanks. You hanging around, Sarge?
Yeah, just for a bit.
See you later, then.
Yep.
Good night, Liz. How's it going, Jeff? Any luck with that fire?
Definitely Jimmy Smith's men, but nobody will talk.
So why don't you knock it on the head for today? Leave that. Let me buy you a pint of warm beer instead.
You heard about that, then?
Difficult not to. Apparently he wasn't too complimentary about our cricket either. Still, you can't expect a Londoner to know anything about cricket or beer, can you? As long as it's over and done with.
Yes, Gov.
So about that pint?
I've just got a couple of things to finish.
Oh, well, if you change your mind.
Thanks.
Excuse me, I'm looking for Gavin.
Over there.
Thank you. Gavin?
Yeah?
My name's Don. I'm a friend of Chrissy Draper's. She said you might know someone I'm looking for.
You're a policeman?
Yeah, but, I'm off duty.
Look, I don't want to get anyone into any trouble.
You won't be, but it is important. Look, could we talk over there? The guy that I'm looking for, he's about 30. Pale complexion, reddish hair.
Yeah, he was in here for a drink last night. He was staying at the hotel round the corner and they don't have a bar.
Yeah? So you talked to him?
Yeah, he came in about 9:30, stayed till we closed. He wasn't with anyone, so we talked. He said he'd come down from Scotland to do some work for a businessman in Sun Hill.
So what makes you think that this bloke is the one that I'm looking for?
Well, I don't know if he is, but Chrissy said someone had been shot last night and Terry, that's his name, had a gun.
What, he was carrying it?
No, not in here, in his room. He asked me back for a drink after I finished. He seemed nice enough, so I said yes.
So, do you know what sort of gun it was?
Yeah, it was in a bag, a holdall next to his bed. I didn't get a good look at it, and I didn't let Terry know that I'd seen it at all. But I think it was a sawn-off shotgun.
Have you ever seen a sawn-off before?
Listen, I'm just telling you what I saw.
Hold on a second. Yeah. Yeah, I know who it is. Look, hold on a sec. I can't do that. I'm busy. Look, I set up. There is just one more thing. What room was Terry in?
34.
Okay, thank you. And just forget this ever happened, all right? And, Gavin, if Terry comes in again, perhaps you should have a headache, yeah? Thanks again.
What do you mean you can't? What do you think, I'm a storage company? I want it done, now. Don, over here.
We've got a problem here, Jimmy.
No. This stuff should have been moved yesterday. But what with your lot sniffing around and Stevie Harper's mob on the other side, I dared take the risk. Shane, now get off there!
No, I mean, we've got a problem, you and me.
Like what?
Like you getting me out here to stand next to a ton of bent stereos, that's why.
How do you know there's not a dozen coppers out there waiting to raid this place right now?
Because if there were, you wouldn't be here.
That is beside the point. I don't like being called up and given orders.
You can do that to your people, but not to me.
You saying you're not one of our people, Don?
If you want to call me Don, you better be up in the morning cleaning my shoes and cooking my breakfast. Until then, it's Mr. Beech.
Fair enough.
Shane, Don, this place is safe. I wouldn't bring you here if it wasn't.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm here now. So what's it all about?
You hear about this afternoon?
Oh, you mean torching Steve Harper's place? I thought you were going to keep it a low profile.
That was a warning. But I'm on about something else. One of your blokes nicked Shane for drugs.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that too. John Boulton was very pleased. What was it? 200 tabs? You should have let your minder carry the stuff.
There wasn't any stuff. It was a fit-up. That Boulton planted it when he was searching me.
Oh, do me a favour. You walked right into it.
I'm telling you, it was a fit-up. He pushed them in my pocket.
Yeah, right.
You calling me a liar?
Shane, go and get yourself a drink.
Is this why I'm here?
If Shane says it was a fit-up, it was a fit-up. I don't do drugs, neither does Shane. That's the rules.
Come off it, Jimmy. You'd flog anything for a profit.
Not drugs. I don't like the people you deal with.
Yeah, well, have it your way. So why am I here?
This Boulton. How can we get him to drop the charges?
It's not gonna happen, Jimmy. Shane was nicked banged to rights. The CPS will get a conviction with their eyes closed.
But it wasn't banged to rights. He didn't have any stuff.
Jimmy.
This Boulton set him up. You can get him to undo it.
What do you think I'm gonna do? Wave a magic wand and disappear the evidence? Even if I wanted to, I couldn't get close. And if I tried, there'd be a lot of people taking notice.
But you can do something, because we've got an arrangement. I need Shane off these charges. I want him here with me. I don't need him doing 5 years.
You need Shane around you like you need tickets to the policeman's ball, Jimmy. If he goes and gets himself a handful, you just might have enough time to clear up this mess he's started with Harper.
Well, don't you worry about Stevie Harper. I'll sort it out. I want to know what you can do for Shane.
I can't do anything, and I'm not going to. I told you. I did you one favour on that conspiracy charge. That's it. Finished. Shane's a big boy. He can look after himself. So don't call me again, Jimmy. I'll be busy.
Don, one phone call to your governor, tell him what you've been up to, and you'll be a lot busier than you ever thought you were going to be. I want this done. Now. Understand?
Jim, over here.
Well, I don't suppose there's any chance of me getting overtime for being dragged out of bed so early, is there?
No, not this time.
Thought not. So, what are we doing?
I need a private word with someone, but there's a chance he might not want to listen.
How private?
Well, when we get him settled down, it's just me and him.
I don't think that's a very good idea, Sarge. What if Meadows finds out about it?
Oh, would he? Look, like I said, it's a favour. Personal. For a friend.
I don't believe you've got me here for this. Look, this stinks.
Listen, we just go in, and we get the guy in the mood to listen, and you walk away, all done, and you forget it ever happened.
And that's supposed to make me feel better, is it?
Better? You felt better when I got you off that complaint a few days ago, didn't you, right? And that's not the first time I stuck my neck out for you.
Yeah, I know, but...
No buts, Jim. I ask you for a favour and you start whinging. All right, that's fine. That's how it is. But I remember that next time you get stuck.
All right, hold on. Hold on. Where are we going?
Sarge.
Police.
Give me your arm!
Cuff him, go on. Terry, we're the police. So if you stop struggling, I'll let you up, all right? All right.
All right.
Good. Get up and sit down.
What's going on? You've got all right crashing in here.
Wait for me outside. And close the door. Sure? Yeah, go on.
What is this? If you're the police, I want to see a warrant card.
Yeah? DS Baker, Barton Street. And you're Terry what?
Mitchell. And I want a solicitor. You can't do that.
It looks like I've already done it, Terry. You know, I thought Stevie could have done better for you than this. He brings you all the way down from up north. Least he could do is find you a decent hotel.
Stevie who?
Stevie Harper, Terry. Now, don't play games with me, because it won't wash. How much did Stevie pay you to shoot Jimmy Smith?
Am I under arrest here?
No, you're not under arrest. This is just between you and me.
I'm saying nothing.
Please yourself. I'm arresting you for attempted murder. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not make...
Okay. How much do you want?
You couldn't afford me, Terry.
All right, then. What?
How much did Stevie pay you?
$3 grand. He told me to stay for the week, because there might be more work.
And did he want Jimmy Smith killed, or did you aim for his legs?
It wasn't a hit. Harper just wanted him warned.
So he told you where to find him?
When he came out, I let him have it.
As soon as you saw him?
No, I couldn't get a clear shot. He had 2 blokes with him. One was a minder. The other one, don't know.
Can you describe him? The third one?
White, medium height. The light wasn't very good. Look, that's all it's about. You going after Harper? Is that it?
If I was, he'd be banged up already and you with him.
Who then? Smith?
You just be pleased that I've got better things to do than taking you in. But if you're not off this patch by the time I've had my breakfast, I will. Understand?
Look.
You understand?
Okay, Jim. Is he all right?
Who?
Who do you think?
Oh, yeah. He decided to go home to his haggis.
What's in the bag?
Insurance. Here you go. These are yours. Thanks.
Is that it, then?
Yeah, that's it. Come on.
No. I mean, is that it? Are we all square now? Is the favour returned?
Yes, Jim. We're all square.
Good. So next time you'll get someone else.
Come on, Jim.
No, don't. That wasn't just bending the rules, that was breaking them, and I didn't join up for that.
Yeah, well, sometimes you have to return favours, even when it hurts, Jim.
Not anymore.
If you're expecting breakfast, you're out of luck. It's coffee or nothing, all right?
Where can I find Steve Harper, Chrissy?
Now, in bed, I expect. Did you find the bloke you were looking for? Gunman?
Yeah, he'll be gone by 9.
So you're in the clear.
Not yet. I've got a new problem with Jimmy Smith. He thinks one payment guarantees him insurance for everything.
Is that a problem?
No, not yet. But he's being awkward. Because I did him one favour, he thinks he can get more.
What did you expect?
I need to speak to Steve Harper so I can decide what to do next.
Do you still think you can keep things under control?
Maybe, if I can speak to Steve Harper.
Most mornings he has a meeting with his managers. You could try the wine bar.
This is getting out of hand, Chris.
The punters will make you right on that. 3 of them are in hospital.
You've no doubt it was Stephen Harper who had this done.
Well, off the record, the landlord said he's been paying for Jimmy Smith's protection. So I don't make Smith to have done his own place over.
So what's the score now?
Looks like Harper's one up.
I think it's time we stopped playing piggy in the middle. I think it's time we made Smith and Harper lose their sleep instead of us. Starting today.
Am I missing much?
Not unless you want to run around getting information for Jeff Daly's raids. I mean, I don't know. Could be today. We just haven't been told yet.
I'll be in later if I can stop running to the cars every 5 minutes, all right? See you later.
Place is closed to 11.
Mr. Harper. Don Beech, Sun Hill. We met a few months ago at Tony Langer's benefit night.
I remember. What can I do for you, Don?
I'd like a word in private.
Coffee?
Black. I've got a message for you. From Terry Mitchell. He's decided to go back to Scotland.
Was there a reason?
I think it might have something to do with me finding that in his room.
Lucky for Terry he's not under arrest then. So?
It's yours. Look, we both know the score here, right? I'm giving you this, so you know I'm being straight with you. Let's call it good faith.
Take that away. Get rid of it. Properly. So you sent this Terry back home?
He told me what I wanted to know. Now I'd like you to do the same.
If I can.
Who started this trouble between you and Jimmy Smith?
Well, it wasn't me or Jimmy. It was his boy. Shane thought his dad was going to go down for a 10 stretch on the robbery charge like everyone else. So when Jimmy was on remand, Shane started doing a little business for himself. Trouble was, he started doing it on my patch. And when people started to complain, he started cutting up rough.
So why go for Jimmy Smith if it was Shane that was giving you grief?
Still Jimmy's firm. It's down to him to keep Shane in line, right?
Did you tell him that?
You ever tried telling Jimmy something he didn't want to hear? As far as he's concerned, Shane walks on water. Does that tell you what you wanted to know?
How long is this war going to last?
Oh, well, that's up to Jimmy. It's bad for business. But Shane took liberties until I get that squared up.
If someone were to make Jimmy see sense, would you call it off?
And why would they want to do that?
Well, like you said, it's bad for business, right?
Right. While Jimmy was inside, Shane started using a cab firm to make some of his supply trips to dealers. Trafalgar Cabs. Do you know who owns that place?
Jimmy's girlfriend, Marie.
Shane's been seen there a lot. Can't have been organising delivery routes all the time, right?
Does Jimmy know?
You think anyone's suicidal enough to tell him?
Hello, Jimmy. Yeah, it's me, Don. Look, I need to see you. Listen, you said you wanted things sorted, right? So it's got to be now. Okay. I'm parked at the south end of 3 Acre Lane. Yeah, opposite the cab office. Meet me there, and don't hang about.
Yeah?
Over there.
Yeah, it's Marie's place, the cab firm.
And that's Shane's Golf parked outside. Think he's signed on as a driver?
What are you trying to tell me?
I'm trying to tell you what everyone else has been trying to tell you, but you wouldn't listen. Shane's been using Marie's cabs to supply dealers. He went on to Steve Harper's turf, and Steve Harper got the hump.
No. Marie would have told me.
Oh, yeah. Shane turned up here just before I called you. A few minutes later, the curtains get drawn.
Wait here.
Look, do we have to sit out here right in front of it? I told you where it was. I don't know why I had to come too.
Are you sure this place belongs to Jimmy Smith?
Yes, I've been in there with him.
And what about the gear inside?
I've told you. The bloke who was supposed to buy it pulled out when he heard about the trouble between Smith and Harper.
You sure Smith's not got a new buyer for it?
I don't know, do I? But if your lot's breathing down his neck, he'll want to get it off his hands quick, won't he? Now can we go, please? I'm getting claustrophobic here.
Okay, Stan.
I didn't mean it to happen, Jimmy. You know I wouldn't do that. But Shane said you'd be going down on that conspiracy charge and it could be 10 years. He said I'd need him to keep the cabs running.
And you just lay back and thought of England, is that it?
No, it wasn't like that.
Jimmy! Now stay down there and don't move. Shane?
Dad, it wasn't my fault.
Oh, do you want some more of that, do you, eh? Is that what you want, eh? You know what this has cost me? All because you thought you'd go and poach on Stevie Harper's patch. I got shot because of you, and that's without what's been going on here when I wasn't looking. And you got the front to stand there and tell me it wasn't your fault, eh? Do you want to tell me that again, do you, eh? Tell me, go on. If it was anyone else I'd ever put down, you know that, don't you?
Yeah.
How's it going to make me look? I'm going to have every toss on the street thinking they can take liberties because I've got soft.
Dad, listen.
Now I've listened to you long enough. Right now I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go to your brief and you're going to tell them you've changed your mind. And then you're going to go with the police and you're going to sign a statement pleading guilty to supply and possession. And then you're going to go to court and you're going to take what's given to you. And I don't hear a peep at it. Do you understand?
Dad, wait.
Now shut up and get out of it. Right? Now both of you, get out. I don't want to see you again. Now get out! Go on, move! I suppose everyone knew except me.
No, only a few.
Well, you don't have to worry about Shane. He'll take what's coming.
Are you sure? Because if he opens his mouth, he could drop us all in it.
He wouldn't dare.
Okay. But it still doesn't square it up, though, Jimmy. Not for me. Shane's caused a lot of trouble. And with my lot running around all over the place, who knows what they're going to turn up.
Oh, you think I've been having fun having half my legs shot off?
Well, you're going to have to sort it out with Stevie Harper if you want things back to normal.
You think he's going to listen? No way.
I don't know so much. He doesn't need this hassle either, you know.
Have you been talking to him?
We sorted a few things out. And you're going to have to do the same. Otherwise, things are going to get very messy.
Well, he's hardly going to shake hands and forget it, is he?
He might. If you give him something to make up for his trouble.
Like what?
I don't know. What about that stuff you got in the warehouse?
You know how much that stuff's worth?
I know what it's going to cost you, Jimmy, if this war carries on.
And what do you get out of it?
Nothing. Just the easy life. People not poking around in places they shouldn't. Look, you haven't got a choice here, Jimmy. My lot are already planning to raid you and Harper, and they'll continue to do that until you sort this out. This is Stevie's number. Use it.
He'll think it's a setup.
No, he won't. Just tell him I said it's good faith. He'll believe you. But don't hang about.
Yeah. I thought you were in bed with the lurgy, Sarge.
Nah, just a dodgy biryani, Tosh. Where is everyone?
Sergeant Daly got a hot tip about Jimmy Smith in a warehouse full of bent stereos. He took everyone off for a raid.
Oh, where?
A place on the Bank Road industrial site. If you go now, you might catch it.
Nah, I'm still not feeling 100%. I don't think I could stand the excitement, Tosh.
Go ahead.
All units from DS Daily, go, go, go.
Police, stay where you are!
Hands in the air. Hands in the air.
I've got a warrant to search these premises.
This is police harassment, you know that.
Never mind harassment. What are you doing here?
Well, it's my warehouse. I can do what I like here.
Place is clean, Gov.
What about them?
Well, it's the same.
All right, Mr. Harper, Mr. Smith. Do you want to tell us what's going on here?
Going on? Nothing's going on. We're having a chat, or is that against the law?
So what have you two got to talk about?
Just a minute. Are we actually under arrest?
Not yet.
Well, in that case, what we talk about is our business, I think.
Where are the stereos you had stashed here?
I don't know what you're on about.
If we're not under arrest, I think I'd like to leave. Any objections?
All right, let him go.
Well, there you go, Jimmy.
Yeah, take it easy, Steve.
Oh, I do hope you're not going to start knocking doors down all over the place. Don't think my legal representatives would like that much.
Who do I send the bill for this lot to, then?
No, it was a complete waste of time. For us, uniform, the whole lot, for what? So we could stand there like prats, watching Harper and Smith shaking hands.
The stuff was there, Gov.
Yeah, but not when we were. Right, that's it, Chris. I'm not wasting any more time on this. It's over.
You're calling off the rate.
Well, after this little show, Harper and Smith will have the place so clean we'll be looking to find somebody without a television licence.
You know, I've just had a call from Shane Smith's brief, telling me that Shane wants to come in and make a statement about the dealing.
Yeah, maybe they all got religion.
I wouldn't put money on it. It's weird, though.
Jeffrey? We were all wondering. Those raids, they still on for tomorrow?
For those of you who didn't hear, the raids are off. Smith and Harper are off the hook.
Oh, dear. Sounds like somebody screwed up. Still, happens to the best of us, doesn't it? Better luck next time, Jeffrey. Called at the wine bar, said you weren't coming in.
Steve gave me a few days off. Doesn't look good for the customers.
Who did that?
Why? What are you going to do? For God's sake, Don, it doesn't matter who it was. Steve doesn't like people talking about his business. Not to you, not to anyone. I'm just lucky I've got a job to go back to, as soon as the bruising goes down.
Never mind about the bruising. Let me take you out for a meal. Nice drink.
Out? The only thing I want out is you. Out of here, out of my life. Here, take this with you.
Well, at least let me give you something to tide you over till you go back to work.
You just don't get it, do you? All that ducking and diving, staying one step ahead. You really think everyone operates the same way as you?
Yeah, they do.
It's been a hard day. I need some rest.
Are you sure?
Yeah. One day your luck will run out.
Take care. So you've had a spot of bother then, Jim?
Well, they weren't Jehovah's Witnesses, that's for sure.
Forced entry. Armed?
Baseball bats.
Yeah. 3 strikes and you're out. Took your telly then?
Yeah, TV, stereo, wanted checkbook, credit cards, cash, normal burglary stuff.
So who have you been upsetting?
I need a favour.
Yeah. I took it I wasn't here in an official capacity. Look, if this is another war, Jimmy, I can't afford to get caught in the middle again.
I looked after you.
I did you a favour, that's all. I helped you out.
And I was grateful. But I expect a lot of help for 20 grand.
So what happened?
Well, as they were leaving, one of them said that my time was up. I should be a lot more careful in the future. He knew I was all right.
Did you know him?
No.
Why not use your own people?
Because I don't want any of this to get out until I know what I'm up against. But if someone out there's trying to scare me by using a bit of muscle, I want them found, Don. They came into my home.
What do you expect me to do?
You've got access to a lot more information than I have. I know you filth work. Now, if there's some scumbag out there trying to build a reputation for himself, he'll be on record somewhere. Now, check it out.
I don't want any comeback on this, Jimmy.
There won't be.
Yeah.
These are serious villains, Jack, and they've been getting away with it for far too long.
Not in Sun Hill, they haven't.
There were 2 burglaries in Barton Street yesterday. A couple of my boys from Crime Ocu are following them up now.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean to say that they're coming here.
I know they're here. They're from Newcastle. They operate all over the country. They move into an area for a couple of days, turn over a few houses, then move on. Always the same MO. Expensive houses, quiet area, knock on the door, overpower the occupants, very aggressive, very threatening. Goods taken, thank you very much.
So how many of them?
3, sometimes 4. Well connected, and so far very successful.
OK, Frank. So what do you want from me, then?
I need someone to help me poke around Sun Hill, find out what's happening.
There you go.
Thank you. Oh, looks like I've missed out. And you make such a lovely cup of coffee, Kerry.
Well, I'm glad to see that you appreciate my abilities, Sarge.
It's funny you should say that. He was just talking about your good points.
Yeah, I bet he was.
You want to watch it, you know. One day you're going to get your fingers burnt.
Yeah? Well, as long as it's just my fingers, Jim.
Before you go, Don, DCI Burnside would like to have a word with you all.
Right. We've got a firm of burglars on the loose. Now, they're very audacious and they don't mind hurting people. Balaclavas, baseball bats, the lot. We think they're from Newcastle, but they're working their way around the country and now they're honouring us with their presence. We're following up 2 burglaries over in Barton Street, but I wondered if anyone here had heard any whispers.
Well, it looks like they're still at it, if that helps. Had a word with Uniform about half an hour ago. There was a burglary at 58 Maybury Drive. Sounds like it could be them.
You just won first prize. A day out with Uncle Frank.
Coffee, Sarge?
Geordies.
I'm telling you, they've been doing houses all over the country. You've just been unlucky, that's all.
How about the bloke who told me I should watch myself in the future?
I don't know. Could be anything. But if it was a threat, I think it'd have been more direct. You're just being paranoid, I think.
That's how I stay alive. Anyway, thanks, Don. I'll ask around, see what I can come up with.
Look, Jimmy, there's a DCI Burnside sniffing around on this. Take my advice, stay out of it.
Why? Who's he when he's at home?
He's old school, on this patch a few years back. Word is he plays very rough.
He's not the only one.
So Smith's such a villain. How come he's never been nicked before now?
Because he's nasty, clever, and difficult to pin anything on.
Is that right?
Don Beech and me nearly nailed him last year. We had him in court, but the case collapsed.
What happened?
He got off on a technicality. Don went to see him in his cell, the defence made a meal of it, and Smith walked.
That was bad luck.
Maybe, but Don does tend to sail close to the wind sometimes.
Yeah, well, occasionally you have to. Still, must have hurt seeing him walk.
It did. Yep.
Don, I hear you've had trouble with Jimmy Smith in the past.
Well, you could say that, Gov, yeah.
Well, you'd be pleased to hear that he's been on the receiving end for once. Or rather, his girlfriend has. Burgled.
Oh, yeah?
Just checked out all the local fences. Nothing from the burglaries turned up yet.
Is it the same game?
Well, someone out there must know something. Don, they tell me you're well acquainted with the local lowlife.
Gov?
So where does the hardcore hang out these days?
Well, it depends.
What about that pub you took me to once, on the Maycroft estate? The Bull and Bush. I mean, I know it's a bit of a no-go area. Apparently, if you haven't done a stretch, you're not very welcome there.
So, do you know who's who there?
Well,
There's that guy who works there, Jono, is it? You said he could be a bit useful. And he's still on probation, isn't he?
Well, he has helped out in the past, Gov. But he's not an official snout.
Good. We're going to have a chat with him then. Thanks, Don. Oh, you won't. Scotch, please.
The same.
And have one yourself.
I don't think so.
Nice place you got here. Very atmospheric.
Leave it, Smith.
You okay?
He's fine. Just a minor disagreement, that's all.
Looked like GBH to me.
Did he? Oh, do you want to press charges?
It's all right, officer. It was my fault.
That's what I like. A man who admits when he's wrong. So I've got 2 shots, anyway.
I'm getting sick of you, Smith.
Is that right?
Has this got something to do with earlier?
I just want them found. Because if you don't, I will.
Don't push your luck. Leave. Take them with you. I've heard about you. What was that all about?
I only talked to Mr. Beech.
New faces in town. Burglars from up north. What do you know?
Look, I don't know anything. How come everybody thinks I know everything?
Well, there must be a reason, Jono. Maybe you like to take an interest in other people's business.
Aye, maybe you're right. Maybe I should have been a copper.
You're on probation, aren't you?
Look, I'm just trying to get by. I wish you lot would just get off my case.
I feel sorry for you, Jono. I really do. I mean, there you are, minding your own business. And just because you've got a record, suddenly you're in the frame for every petty crime on the manor. I've known blokes on probation get pulled down the nick so many times they might as well take up residence.
And you know what I reckon? I reckon guys like you don't want people like me going straight.
If only it was that easy. Now, what do you know?
I heard there was a gang coming down for the north, for Newcastle, I think. They were looking for somebody they could trust at this end, but that was weeks ago.
Where'd you hear it?
It was in here. Somebody had one too many and was shouting their mouth off. He said he had connections and that he was in line to help these boys out when they got down here, but that's all I know, all right? I swear to God.
Did you tell Smith about this?
Did it look like I was being helpful?
I need a name.
The guy's name's Danny Evans. But I don't think that's going to help you. It's definitely not him you're after.
Why not?
Well, let's just say he's otherwise engaged. Oh, no, you as well. Have you been stitching me up?
No, and not yet. I believe you've been talking to my colleagues.
He knew something, all right.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to tell us. Despite your turning on the charm.
Well, sometimes the subtle approach can work.
I've always been more direct myself.
You do surprise me. Still, whatever it takes, as long as you get a result.
I usually do. What about you? Do you always get your man?
Usually.
Good. Because I want to sort this tomorrow, before Jimmy Smith does.
I shouldn't be here, Jimmy. And who's she?
Oh, Melanie Don Beech.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Beech.
Yeah. Out.
Back in a minute.
All right.
Wait. Calm down.
What the hell are you playing at? Does she know I'm a copper?
She thinks you're a mate that's helping me out.
Listen, Jimmy, I don't care how you choose to impress your new bit of stuff, but don't drag me into it. She's been talking to Burnside. What's the matter with you?
Don't worry. One, she's all right. She's told this Burnside she doesn't want anything to do with the police. And two, she ain't a bit of stuff, so show some respect.
Look, it's not a good idea to get on the wrong side of Burnside. From what I hear, you already have. There's stuff we don't want him to know about.
I don't care about Burnside. I want this sorted. They shouldn't have involved Melanie.
Look, I don't know, Jimmy. This is getting really unpleasant, all right? I mean, it could be anyone. Could it be Steve Harper or Paul Finnegan? They both like to have a pop at you.
Exactly.
I shouldn't be mixed up in this. This is not my show. It's Burnside. It's nothing to do with me. I'm not even on the case.
Just keep your ears open.
Burnside's come up with a name. Danny Evans.
Means nothing.
It doesn't matter. It's nothing to do with him. He's banged up in the nick. But I think he might know something about the gang. Burnside paid him a visit, but he wasn't talking.
Or maybe he needs a bit of persuasion.
Well, that should be easy enough, shouldn't it?
How do you mean?
Well, your boy's still inside, isn't he?
Shane, yeah.
Same nick, Shadwell. And if I remember right, you two didn't part on the best of terms. So I was thinking that maybe Shane might want to get back on the phone with his old man and help out. After all, subtle persuasion's right up his street, isn't it?
You should have been a gangster, Don.
No more favours, Jimmy, all right?
I'll be in touch.
Yeah. All right, gorgeous.
Hiya.
How are you getting on with DCI Burnside?
Fine, thank you, Sarge.
I hear he's got quite a reputation.
Well, there's a lot of them about.
How long do you think you'll be working with him, then?
Oh, it shouldn't be too long now. Apparently this gang like to move on every few days. And according to Crime Ocu, they've already done about 8 houses.
They sound very experienced.
I'll have to trawl a few snouts this morning.
Right. Morning, Gov.
See you later.
Hello?
Where are we going, Gov?
We're going to have another go at Melanie Lehman. She clammed up a bit quick yesterday. What did he want?
He was just asking how we're getting on.
Was he?
How'd you get my number? I could do, yeah. Where? Does Jimmy know about this?
No.
You know, he wouldn't be too happy if he knew that you'd nicked my number out of his phone book.
Jimmy wouldn't be happy if he knew about a lot of things. Well, that's why you're here.
I don't follow.
Look, I'm going to be candid with you, Mr. Beech. I'm being blackmailed by the burglars that broke into my house.
So what are you telling me?
Come on, Dom. It doesn't take a genius to work out you're in Jimmy's pocket.
I think I've had enough of this conversation already.
All right, don't be so touchy. Look, I don't care what you do for Jimmy. I'm here to make you a proposition.
All right. You talk, I'll listen.
OK. It seems pretty obvious to me that you're helping Jimmy find the burglars. No problem. If he wants to give them a good hiding, that's fine by me. They deserve it. But these same burglars contacted me last night. They've got some property of mine. It's in a briefcase which they took. There's something I wouldn't like Jimmy to see. Are you with me? Some letters, photographs. I'm sure I don't need to paint you a picture. Anyway, I need to get them back before Jimmy finds them, before the police find them.
Why should I care?
There's somebody else in the photographs. Paul Finnegan. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Yeah. Jimmy wouldn't be happy. He seemed to enjoy the company of big-time villains.
There's something we both seem to have in common, eh, Don? Look, I don't know what Jimmy's paying you, but I'm willing to match it. You're looking for the burglars anyway. All you have to do is get my property back to me without Jimmy finding out. I'd say that's an easy way to double your money, wouldn't you, Don?
What if I were to say that I wasn't interested in your money? What if I just go to Jimmy and tell him all about this?
That would be stupid. It could lead to all sorts of trouble. And I'm sure some of your superiors wouldn't be as tolerant as I am about your outside activities. One word to Jimmy, and they'll hear about it. And I mean it, Don. Popular in jail, are they, policemen?
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. So where'd you learn this from, Jimmy, or was it Finnegan?
I've been around a bit.
Yeah, I guess you have. Well, looks like I haven't got any choice, right? Except that there's just one problem. You see, I can't be bought by just anyone, you know. You are out of your depth, darling, way out. And if you put me in it, you'd also put Jimmy in it. I know too much about his operation, and he wouldn't like it if you blew all that. And he also would be very unhappy if he knew that you'd been playing around with poor Finnegan. I think it'd go right off you. Big time. Yeah? You're right, I could go down. But you could go under. Because that's what happens to little girls who get out of their depth, you know.
Jimmy. Put those on someone's grave. Your Evans was a waste of time.
Well, Shane didn't get anywhere then.
Not for want of trying. Now Evans knows nothing. Still, he won't be much good to Mrs. Evans for a while. What else you found out?
I'm still working on it.
We'll work harder. They're bound to make another move soon, and I want to know where they're coming from. You checked out Harper and Finnegan yet? Listen, I've got to see Melanie, so I want some answers by tonight.
How long you know Melanie?
A couple of months, why?
Just wondered, that's all. See ya.
Yeah, I'm still here. Oh, nice one, George. Cheers. You're not going to believe this. It's only registered to our favourite inmate, Danny Evans.
Lying slag. They pay him another visit.
Looks a bit pricey for my salary.
Yeah, well, luckily some people don't have to wear expensive clothes to look good. I'm talking about me. Hello. DCI Burnside. Is Melanie Lehman here?
Oh, Mr. Burnside. Surprised to see you here.
Yeah, well, we've just been round your house. Your cleaner said you were here.
Tanya. So?
Well, I wondered if you were willing to help us yet.
Well, I think we could find something nice for you, but I'm not sure we've got anything in your size, Mr. Burnside.
I think it's all a bit too glamorous for police work.
Don't want to get them all hot and bothered down the station now, do we?
Can we talk about your break-in?
I thought I made it clear that I don't want to take it any further.
You sure about that?
What do you mean?
You sure you want Jimmy Smith doing your police work for you? I mean, if he's acting
Look,
on your
I can
behalf...
take care of myself. I don't need Jimmy to do anything. Now, if you don't mind, I think you ought to leave. You're not exactly good for business.
Well, I hope you're not harassing anyone, Detective Chief Inspector.
I'm talking to Mrs. Lehman.
Don't mind me.
So you can shove a pool cue in someone's ear hole.
I'd only be too happy to help you catch these villains.
You get in my way, and I'll have you, and I'll enjoy it.
You're making a very serious mistake getting on the wrong side of me.
You're nothing. You're a sadistic scrote with a grudge. Now take it elsewhere before I lose my temper.
Things have changed, you know. You can't go around making threats to innocent members of the public anymore.
You stay out of my way.
See you later.
Kerry, how's it going?
It's okay, Sarge.
Caught your burglars yet?
Well, I think we're getting somewhere. We're going back to see Danny Evans.
Evans?
Yeah, one of Melanie Lehman's neighbours saw a van at the scene. Turns out it was registered to Evans.
That's a pretty observant neighbour, that sounds like.
Yeah, he doesn't miss much. Nosy, knicker-sniffing sleazebag.
Hope you're not talking about me, Kerry. Do you mind if I have a word with Sergeant Beech?
Sure, Gov.
You seem very interested in what Kerry's up to.
Just making polite conversation, Gov.
Yeah. Sure there's nothing else?
Gov?
If you fancy her, do me a favour. Have a go outside office hours, all right?
That obvious, is it?
Yeah.
Jono, come here. Come here.
Come here. What's up? Don't you want to talk to me?
You're bad news, Mr. Beech. I don't mean to be rude, but you are.
Yeah. Well, make sure you remember that, okay? Tell me more about Evans.
What's the tell?
His van, white escort van. Who's been using it?
How should I know?
Because I know that you are a mate of Evans, and I know that a mate will be using the van. I also know that you are a nosy sod, so you will know who it is, all right?
Come on, Mr. Beech. I don't see why I've got to tell you everything.
Because you know what's good for you, okay?
No wonder Smith was so interested if he got burgled himself.
This guy's got a lot of nerve.
He's not there.
I'd like to have a look around, though. They never look very strong, these doors, do they? I bet it would open if you knocked hard enough. Is there anyone here? It's the police. Have a look through there.
You okay, Gov? He got away.
Not for long, I'll guarantee that.
Jimmy, we need to talk now.
Did you get a look at him?
No. Do you think it was Truman?
Who else?
Smith?
Smith wouldn't be here on his own. He'd have his minders with him.
Well, Truman's definitely in the frame for the burglary. And so is his girlfriend, by the looks of things.
Melanie Lehman's cleaner.
Yeah, Tanya.
And how does this fit in?
You know who she's with?
Paul Finnegan. As in armed robbery, extortion, fraud.
Smith can't know about this.
Some of these are quite recent. I don't suppose he'd be too happy if he knew his girlfriend was that close to one of his arch rivals. No wonder you weren't very helpful. I think it's about time you told us what's going on.
It's delicate, to say the least.
Well, I think I can handle it. I take it Smith doesn't know about Finnegan.
No, and he can't.
So him going after the burglars is nothing to do with this? We know they've done his house as well.
Look, his pride's hurt and he wants revenge. He doesn't know anything about all this.
What exactly is all this?
Please don't tell him. There's no need. I don't want to spoil things with me and Jimmy. And you might not understand, but he means a lot to me. I love him.
Just tell us what it's all about.
I'm being blackmailed by the people that burgled my house. They're threatening to tell Smith and Finnegan. You've seen the letters. See, when I first started seeing Jimmy, Paul Finnegan was still around.
Well, if you will play with fire.
Thanks. I mean, if it hadn't been for the burglary, none of this would have happened. There's a meeting arranged for later tonight.
You're gonna pay?
What else could I do? They must have thought it was Christmas when they found my letters.
Yeah, well, maybe that wasn't just luck.
What do you mean?
Your cleaner, Tanya. You got an address for her?
All this because of that scumbag Truman.
It looks that way, yeah.
I bounced him off a job ages ago. I bet he's waited all this time to get even.
You're still going to teach him a lesson, though, aren't you?
Nah, he's nothing.
Except that you don't want people laughing at you if this gets out, Jimmy, do you? I mean, you don't want every ambitious little chancer thinking they can have a pop at you.
You're getting keen all of a sudden, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I've helped you out on this, Jimmy, big time. I want Truman taken out. Or at least told to stay out of Sun Hill for the next 50 years.
Why?
Because I don't want him around to open his big gob, that's why.
Hello, Tanya. Remember us?
You going on holiday? I hope you've told Mrs. Lehman.
We've just been round Martin's flat. I can't say he's endeared himself to me. We know all about it, Tanya, so you might as well tell us.
I don't know what you're talking about. How should I know what Martin's been up to?
Come off it, Tanya. He hasn't got the brains. You put him up to it.
Want a solicitor?
You're going to need one. You knew about those photographs and the letters. When did you find them? When you were cleaning? I must say I was surprised the Geordies went along with it. I mean, blackmail's not their speciality. But then they didn't know about it, did they? Martin keeping secrets from his new friends. Come on, Tanya, we know this is down to you. But why? I mean, it can't have been just the money. There's got to be a better reason than that.
What's wrong with money? Anyway, she deserved it. Couldn't believe it when I found out what she'd been up to. Going out with Smith's bad enough, but Finnegan as well. She needs her head testing.
If the others didn't know, why burgle Melanie?
Martin arranged it, didn't he? Just like the others. We used it as a cover to nick the photos and stuff. I told him where they were, and he had them away.
Right pair of Bonnie and Clydes.
So you were going to collect the blackmail money and then what? Off into the sunset?
And why not? If it's good enough for her and that Smith.
Where's Martin?
Yeah, right, like I'm going to tell you.
I would do. Before Smith gets to him.
What are you on about?
You don't know, do you?
What?
Martin had Jimmy Smith's place done over as well. And he's not very happy. But I bet Martin didn't bother to tell the others who Smith is, did he?
Stupid idiot.
He's screwed up. I reckon you'd have got away with this if it hadn't been for him.
Hello again, Johnny.
Oh, no, what have I done now?
It's what you haven't done. We think you've been economical with your information.
I don't know what you mean, Mr. Beech.
I went to see your friend, Martin Truman. Looked like he'd left in a bit of a hurry, you know. You didn't tell him I was on my way, did you? Well, did you?
I told him somebody was coming round. I never said it was you, Mr. Beech. I never.
Good. And make sure you don't, ever.
Give me a break. Everybody's giving me grief. What am I supposed to do?
Well, it's a matter of getting your priorities right, Jono. Which means making me feel happy again. And do you know how you're going to do that?
No, but I've got a feeling you're going to tell me.
I want to know where they are, Truman and the rest of the gang. And there's no point you telling me you don't know. Because I might believe you, but Jimmy here wouldn't.
Look, Mr. Beech. Come on, Martin's a friend of mine. I don't want to get him in trouble. It's no easy being stuck in the middle like this.
The thing is, how can I take so much? And then I snap.
All right, all right. I'm leaving tonight. Martin's going round there in about 3/4 of an hour to get his cut. He's meeting them at their hotel, some dive on Fenton Street. The Burnley. But you didn't hear this from me.
Because you never ever saw us, right?
Here's a little something extra for you. I know it must have been a bit difficult.
You're telling me. So, I can leave it with you now, can I?
You most certainly can.
Right. I'll see you around, Jimmy. Yeah. But, not too soon, all right?
We've got to get there before Smith, otherwise there'll be claret all over the place. Come on, let's go. Don, you're in on this.
In on what?
That firm of burglars, we've located them. The Burnley Hotel, do you know it?
I know of it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll fill you in on the way. You're with me.
Great.
That's a nasty bump you got there, Golf. How'd that happen?
Truman, I think. Don't worry about it. He'll get his soon enough.
He's here, Gov. Smith.
Doesn't he ever give up? Smith!
Leave this to us, Burnside.
I can't do that. Anyway, it's personal now. I'm a victim too.
Oh, you want to catch him as much as I do, eh?
Of course I do, but I've got the law on my side. You two want to get nicked. Walk away. I know you've been done to, but this is not going to help.
It ain't that simple. I've got a reputation to think of. They also had a pop at my bird.
Your bird? You ain't got a clue, have you? You any idea what she's been up to?
What you blabbering on about?
Ask her yourself. If she's still there when you get back, which I doubt.
You've lost me, pal.
Gov, they're out.
Oi!
They're getting away!
You got no chance.
Who's first?
Why don't you start with Truman? He deserves a good kicking.
What's he on about?
Dunno.
I don't suppose he told you I was when he suggested you turn my gaff over.
Who is this idiot?
Who am I, Mr. Burnside? Tell him.
You're a nasty piece of work, Jimmy. In fact, you're a thoroughly unpleasant individual.
All right, don't overdo it.
What's going on here?
And then there's that business with Melanie Lehman.
What business?
That's another mistake you made. Suppose you didn't tell him about that either.
You what? What have you been doing?
It's been a real pleasure working with you. I'm sure you never meant all those nasty things you said about me, did you?
Good night.